Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Heart. I'm your host, Chloe Trca, and this is a podcast where we talk all things wellness, mindset, business, health, nutrition, literally whatever's on my heart for the week. I like to sit down and chat with you guys. But this episode's like kind of bittersweet. It's the last episode of 2024. New Year's Eve is just 2 days away, and I have been really pondering. I've been sitting down with myself and thinking and reflecting on 2024 and where I want to go for 2025. I think some people think like New Year's resolutions are cheesy and you don't have to do them. I personally love them. I think it's a great time for me to sit down and reflect like I don't any really other time of the year. I usually do a 6-month check-in, but I just think it's a really good, healthy, productive habit to get into. Some people maybe overemphasize goals, but I love them because truly, you guys, speaking things and writing them down or telling a friend or sharing your goals makes them so much more real. I think it's so powerful. And if you want to shapeshift your life and really create a life for yourself, I think making goals, making a vision board or a prayer board or whatever it is so powerful and helpful, and I think it works. It really does. Last week I sat down with you guys and I went over my reflection for 2024, went over all my goals, if I hit them, if I didn't. And I was mind blown because a lot of the stuff that I set a goal for, I didn't even realize I was achieving. I had spoken it, I had said it out loud to you guys, I had made it a conscious goal, and I allowed the year to kind of, run the course, do its thing. And I was very pleasantly surprised to see how much of my prayers, I kind of refer to them more as like a prayer board, rather than like a goal board or a vision board. But I was shocked at how many of them came to be true and came to life without me even really realizing it. And a lot of the surface level goals that I had set, maybe for a follower count or whatever it was, I didn't necessarily achieve those, but I didn't care. That didn't feel fulfilling, because everything else that really truly mattered and shifted and molded me into the human that I am today compared to the girl I was sitting down in this video last year. So different. And I will take that over and over and over again. And it really opened my eyes. And that was a huge lesson I guess I learned that this past year. But enough about 2024. I want to kind of get into everything I want to accomplish in 2025. I have a really good feeling about this year. I just like the number 25. I'm 23 now. I'll turn 24. I feel like I'm just adulting. I feel like my mindset and my goals and my outlook on life has changed a lot. I actually said that 2024 was my shift year, and I said that going into 24 was that it was my shift year. And it's really crazy because I definitely shifted in a lot of ways. I shifted my goals, I shifted my perspective, I shifted my visions, my thoughts, everything shifted. And then this year I titled, I love this, 2025 is my build year. I feel like I repositioned myself this last year, and now it's time to build up or build out in those new areas. A lot of the things that I wanted maybe 4 or 5 years ago are no longer where I want to go in life. I see my life going a much different way, and I'm very glad that I do. And I think that's okay. I think that's the power of growing up and adulting and changing your mind and expanding your knowledge and all of this, that if you had a 5-year plan and it looks nothing like you thought it would now, that's okay. And I don't know. I'm really excited because these next 5 years in my life, I'll be 28 in 5 years, going on 29. And these are very powerful years for me. And every single year I take I don't want to say serious, but kind of I really think about things. I really deeply reflect and I deeply set goals, because the decisions I make are really creating my future and the future that I'll set for my family and create for my family. So every decision I make from here on out it's powerful. I feel like the first 5 years of your 20s, and I'm still young. I mean, you can literally change your mind at 40 and create a completely new life. And I think that's the beauty of life. But I don't know. I just feel like the first 5 years I kind of dabbled and explored and saw what I liked and what I didn't like. I'm only 2 years out of school. So it's my horizons are barely reached. You know what I'm saying? I have so much more to go. And again, this time next year I might sit down and be oh my goodness, I thought I was going to do this and I'm here now. Totally different. Who knows? But that's okay. But I like to set a path, but ultimately trust God's plan and listen to him and pray about where I feel called to go and called to do. But honestly, this time last year, it was all me, what I wanted, what I felt like I needed to do and wanted to do rather than what I felt called to do. And it honestly takes a lot of anxiety off of the future and like off of setting goals, because I know if something's bound to happen, like it will happen. I trust in God and being obedient to Him. The things that are meant to happen will happen at the right time. But again, with all that to say, I still did set goals and I have visions and I have prayers going into 2025, because there are a lot of areas where I want to improve. I want to be better for the people in my life, for myself, for you guys. So we're going to get into it. I think I'm going to turn on a light though, because it's getting late and we need some brightness in here. I am going to kind of go through my goals. I segmented them into different sections. So we have professional goals, personal goals, health goals, financial goals, love goals, and passion goals. I actually just found that outline on Pinterest of like the ways to segment my goals, but I'm like, that's really helpful, because sometimes like last year I created what I want to start doing, what I want to learn more about, and things that I want to change. And I love that. But this was more specific. So I was kind of having a hard time this year, if I'm being honest, creating goals. I asked a lot of you guys on social media, like, what are your goals, to spark some inspo? And truly, I've been so busy this last week. My family was in town that I had limited time to like sit down and really reflect and ponder on my thoughts. But I still like knew I had an idea of like where I want to go this year. So first, we're going to get started. I'm going to be a little broad with some of these. I don't want to go too specific, because some of the stuff I just literally can't share yet, because it is happening. You'll see. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm sorry. So if some of this is like, Chloe, give more detail, I literally can't, or I would. But the first one in professional goals, to sum it up, it's to kind of step away from working for companies and brands as a creator and to create my own. You know, this is a huge thing. I've noticed a lot of creators do this over the course of their career. They work with a lot of companies. I'm not saying I'm going to pull out from the companies that I work with, because I truly love and I'm so grateful and I'm so passionate about the companies I do work for. But I am in a position where I want to create my own. I want to be more secure and I want to be reliant on myself. And I think I do have like that business bug, can we call it that? I've always been very interested in business. I studied business marketing in school. I kind of wish I would have studied economics, truthfully, now that I'm learning more about it, but can't go back. I can just self-teach myself economics. But anyway, I want to launch my own company. There are huge things coming in 2025 regarding that. And this is like a big one that I can't really talk too much about. But I have multiple like specific goals regarding that. Like the number of launches and the number of, I don't want to give too much away. So I'm going to stop talking about that. But I am really excited, because last year I had a feeling that this 2024 was going to be a year that I invested into something, and I have been doing that. And now 2025 is kind of the launch, and I get to see everything kind of come to life, and it's been so cool. So I think I'll be very heavy professionally in that. And I'm really excited, because I think I'm going to learn so much. I think there's going to be so much to do, and it's going to impact so many people. And I can't wait. It makes me so excited thinking about. Another goal is to just grow both of my podcasts, because I love podcasting. Podcasting is my favorite platform, and I really want to like hone in to podcasting. I want to like level it up. I want to maybe make a studio for Heavenly Chats, because we sit in the same setting, and I would like to like split it up. I truly don't mind the setting that I have this one in. It's on my living room couch. It's cozy, it's homey, it's casual, and that is what this podcast is. And I feel like it fits really well. And the lighting honestly is pretty good in here when I'm not filming at 5:30 at sunset. Sorry guys, this was literally the soonest I could film. And I had to shower and use my Dyson for the first time. It was a whole process getting here, but we're here. Anyway, I want to like set up a studio. I really want to do a lot with Heavenly Chats, and expand it. And I hope it grows, just because grow the kingdom. Like, I want to share the good news, and I think that's like my way of doing it, because I don't want to turn this podcast into all of that, because I have other things to share as well, and I want to use this as that platform to share those other things. But Heavenly Chats is a platform I can just talk all about my faith, and I just was recently baptized, and I'm like on fire right now, and I just have a really good feeling. I have a really good feeling about Heavenly Chats this year, and it makes me excited. So those are like two of my biggest professional goals, I would say, like the two things I really want to like expand and grow upon. And I think this year, like I said, is going to be the build season, and the build year. And I think I'm really going to build a lot regarding those two things. And then the next one, I want to just become more active on YouTube again. That's a basic goal. But I just need to hone in. I used to upload twice a week on YouTube, I was so consistent. I moved to Arizona and honestly, I got really busy, but I do have way more on my plate, so it's harder. YouTube truly takes a lot of time to like film and edit. And a lot of my days now aren't as like fun and entertaining. It's me like sitting at my computer and working because we're growing up here. But I just want to at least get more like consistent with shorts and posting a lot of my content on YouTube through that. Another goal that I have is to get more guests on my podcast. So these are, like I said, these are all professional, but I want to have more guests on here at least once a month, I'm hoping. I've been brainstorming a few people I want to have on the podcast. If you guys have any recommendations or any requests for guests to have, let me know. I'll literally reach out to them. I don't mind asking. Why not? There's a few of my friends that I think would be really, really good on here. It's just a matter of like organizing it and getting it done. But I cannot wait. And then I want to be more consistent on like to know it for you guys because a lot of people ask for links and I feel like I slack. A lot of these things like I'm doing, but I'm not giving my best effort and I feel like I could do better. So I just need to make more of like a regimen. So if there's anything in your life that you're like doing, but you're kind of half doing it, I don't want to say half with the swear word because I don't swear anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like half giving effort, and you want to give full effort, make it like a routine. Like my plan is going to be to like block out certain days where I like update my life to know it or certain time in the day where I upload a short on TikTok and just make it consistent so it's part of a routine so I can really hone into that. There's a few companies that are like dream brands. I guess I'll share them with you. I don't care. So if you see in the future that I work with any of these brands, know I'm freaking out. The first one is Skims. The next one is Elwood. I love Elwood. I got Kyler a ton of Elwood for Christmas and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have got myself some. I love it. CSB. That's a really cute like activewear brand I'm into. It's more like simple Pilates lifestyle. I think is really cute. I would love to work with an infrared sauna company. I think that would be so sick because I have my ice barrel and I'm like really into wellness. And then Newly, which is that company where you can rent clothes because I'm just discovering that's a thing and I think that would be amazing. So those are like my 5. I think that's 5 dream brand deals to work with. I would freak out. So if you guys see a brand deal with those, no, I'm shaking in my boots. And then I just want to get outside more this year. I want to get outside of my apartment, what I mean when working. I've been working at coffee shops a bit more recently and I've realized how much more productive I am when doing that. So I want to incorporate that more into my weekly routine. So maybe like once or twice a week, get to a coffee shop. And then I just want to show more details of my life on social media. I feel like I post a lot of photos, but I want to show more like behind the scenes, little like candid videos of me like cleaning or me, I don't even know. I just like want you guys to see more of my life, even though I share a lot. I feel like I used to share more, and I kind of want to get back to it. If that makes sense. I don't know if you guys are OGs, you might maybe understand what I'm saying, but I just want to be more active again with like the little bits. And then the last professional goal is to begin investing. So I went to this huge seminar a couple weeks ago and it was about like investments in like the literal stock market. And it very much so intrigues me and I find it fascinating. Again, I'm a kind of a business, I don't know. I'm into it. Like I'm into business and I'm into economics, like I said, and I want to research more on economics and understand what's going on in our country more. And actually begin investing my money. I've been saying that for a long time, but I feel like this year will be the year I actually do get into stocks and futures and whatever. I learned a ton that weekend that I want to actually put into action. But that wraps up all of my professional goals. So now we're gonna go into my personal goals. I have a lot, you guys. There's a lot of goals. The first one this is funny. The first one that I really want to get better at is controlling my mood during my luteal phase. Honestly, you guys would probably be surprised, but I feel like I am, like, I don't know. I just don't like who I am during my luteal phase. I'm more negative. I'm more quiet. I'm very, like, reactive. My mood can be very, like, I don't know, and I really wear it on my face. If you know me personally, like, I need to be better at hiding my emotion physically in certain situations, but I've always been, like, my entire life, I wear it on my face. And I'm not proud of that, but I feel like recently I'm becoming aware of it, so I'm trying to fix it. So I'm trying to like control my moods and just be less like moody, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I just want to be like softer and like, oh, it's okay. Like, don't care. Cause sometimes I get fired up. And if I'm being honest. Like I don't know. I just don't like that about myself. So that's a goal this year, is to like control that better, because it's fine like 3 weeks out of the month, but that 1 week I'm like, holy, like I'll be talking to myself and I'm like, I know I'm overreacting, but I can't control it. I want to learn how to like reel myself in and control it. The next one is create a Bible study or a devotional. I think I could see Heavenly Chats doing something with this. I think that would be super cool to create a personal devotional or like a Bible study guide, or I don't know, something that you guys can utilize as a tool would be super, super cool. Another personal goal is to travel to Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. I want to travel this year. I think it's beautiful. I just want to get there. I want to get there, and I want to make it a goal this year to go. Another goal I have is to take my mom to New York City over Christmas time. I would love to like gift her a trip to New York City. I've always wanted to go during the Christmas time. It looks magical. Even for a few days, I want to get to New York. It's what I love, the city. It's one of my favorite cities. LA really doesn't intrigue me. I love the beach and the ocean. I love all the beach towns, but I don't like LA. I love New York City. I love it. So I think it'd be really, really cool to be able to take my mom there. Another personal goal I have is to read 12 books of the Bible this year. So one a month. Like I read Luke in the month of December, and it was so cool. And I loved having a chapter a day to read. So I'm going to make it a goal to just read a book every single month. And then I want to create my own style. I feel like this year I've gotten more adventurous. I've gotten more into style, but I really want to like lean into it even more this year, and, you know, like invest in cool pieces and be more like up to date. Sometimes I just like, I don't know. I need to like weed out my closet and like refresh it more often. I kind of feel like I wear the same pieces a lot, which is okay. But I have like a desire to like amp up my style. I want to get like my core pieces, but I want them to be more like mature pieces, like a nice belt. I want a better pair of jeans. I want, you know, like those like heel booties. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I want to like start trying to wear this year. As the lighting is going to be atrocious, I tried my best, but this is where we're at, and we're rocking and rolling with it. But again, yeah, like I said, good denim, a cool, really nice belt, some boots. I just like that mature look. I'm entering that phase, and I'm excited about it, if I'm being honest. I want to learn how to bake from scratch this year. I want to get into sourdough, and I want to get into like homemade pasta and just like homemade meals, like everything homemade from scratch. I just got a new little mixer from my KitchenAid, and it's so cute. And I got a few things for like, sourdough. Like, got a sourdough starter from a friend, and I'm like, I need to lock in and figure this out. So we will be doing that in 2025 for sure. And then the last thing for personal is just stay on top of self-care. I definitely did a better job at this in 2024 with like getting facials and all of that, but there's like little things as a female I just think are really important, and it's doing your hair, it's doing a hair treatment, getting a facial, getting your nails done. I stopped getting my nails done for a long time, and now that I have them done, it just makes me feel more put together. And maybe that's like materialistic or something, but as a girl, you just feel like, I don't know, it makes you feel better. It makes you feel put together. And when I feel better, I'm just like a better version of me. So I don't know. And other things too, like even self-tanning. Sometimes I get way too lazy, but then I'm like, oh, like I hate being pale, and it puts me in a bad mood, literally. So I'm like, why don't I just freaking self-tan? And I did that today. I've been doing better. I got a healthy, I think it's called something by Earth self-tanner on Amazon, and it's like a more natural one. Ice baths and sauna I want to get more into, especially ice baths, because now I have my ice barrel. And then supplementations and vitamins, just really locking in a good regimen with that and sticking to it, because I'll take a vitamin and supplement until like the bottle's done, and then I forget to order it again, and then I get off track, and I'm like, I need to be more consistent with it. So moving forward, the rest are much shorter lists. Those were like the two biggest ones, were personal and my like professional goals. But the next one is my health goals, and a few things that I want to do this year is to make wellness just like number one top priority over everything, and make most of my decisions based on like how it will benefit and impact my wellness, because my well-being is huge. If I don't feel good, I say this all the time, I just said it, I don't show up as my best self. So I want to like make sure it's a number one priority, like get my sleep, get my exercise in, get the good foods in, get the supplementations in, drink the water, go on the walks, like make it almost like force myself to do those things, because the output is so worth it. Because sometimes I slack, I'll do really good for a month, and then I'll travel and I'll go somewhere and I get off track, and then it's hard to get right back into it. So I'm like, I just don't want to fall off at all. I got to stick to it. The next one is I want to cold plunge at least twice a week. That's a realistic goal because the cold plunge is currently at the boys' house. It's not at mine because I have like the huge Ice Barrel 500. It's massive, and I don't know how I would even have it in an apartment because I'm like up high. I would have to like pour buckets of water out of my sink into it. They have a hose spout. It fits out front of their little condo thing, and it's perfect there, and the boys will use it. So realistically, I'll probably only get over there like a few times a week to use it. But once I like buy a house, I'll do it way more often. But for now, twice a week. And then I want to get into like non-toxic products. Like I said, I'm using a self tanner that's healthier ingredients. It's not as toxic. Even like cookware, I want to use like non-toxic cookware and just be much more aware of the scents that I use, like candles that I light and all of that. Because I don't really do that enough. I should be doing that way more. And then again, just sticking to Whole Foods, I did really good for like a month and a half. And then I went home for Thanksgiving and I have not done great since, and I've noticed an impact. So need to do better. I'm being honest. I fell off a little bit. I still eat 60% of the time eat that way, but like 40% of the time recently with the holidays, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. And then the next thing is my financial goals. I'm not going to go into specifics, but I just want to be better, one, at tracking my spending. And by doing this, I need to just, especially with my job and like taxes and all of this, I need to just update it once a week, because I say I'm going to do it once a month and then I don't even do that. And then I get months behind, and my life is so stressful for those bits and those moments because of the way my taxes work. Doing the job that I do, it's just complicated. It's complicated. So I'm like, every Friday, if I just run through my finances and track everything, my life will be so much better. So I set a goal for that. And then my love goals. I met Kyler this year, which has been honestly one of the biggest blessings ever. But it makes me want to like become more aware of like how I show my love, how I receive my love. So it might be silly to like create goals for this, but I just want to, again, hormonally, like learn how to react less and not be as moody, because I'm like, no one in my life deserves that. He doesn't deserve it. It's not that bad. I'm making it sound like I'm like a terrible person. I'm not. I know that's an area I can definitely improve on because I'm different that week and I don't love it. But the next one is just, again, be better at communicating. I feel like that's something I can always improve on. I've made leaps and bounds compared to last year. I hated talking about my feelings and emotions, but something in my eyeball. Oh my goodness. We've made lots of progress, but I know that there's like more progress to still be made. Love too. It's like, this isn't even just my intimate relationships and like my relationship with Kyler, but my friendships and the people in my life, just everyone that I love in general. I want to just be able to like communicate better and express my thoughts, my feelings and emotions better and sooner. And yeah. And then the next one, for Kyler's sake, I don't know if he'll listen to this, but he wants me to learn to dance so bad and dance with him. I hate dancing, but truly for him, like maybe I'll learn how to dance. Like he wants to be that couple like slow dances in the kitchen. I think that's adorable. Like I feel like every girl's dream is to like have a guy who wants to do that. But I'm like, I hate dancing. And like everybody here like line dances, and I'm like, actually that's the last place I ever want to be. But I'm like, okay, maybe I like need to press into it. If I like really hate it that much, maybe I should start doing it. So like maybe I'll start taking freaking dancing lessons this year. I don't know. But I'm like, I need to like tear my wall down with dancing. I don't know why I despise it so much. I think it's just because it's awkward and I'm not good at it. And so it's like, okay. And then the last thing within love is just to like release the full side of my femininity, my whole feminine side. I don't know how to say that word, but this year I definitely tapped way more into my feminine side. I had a whole episode on it, and released my masculine side. I don't know why I was very like dominant and I was very into my masculine. I didn't realize it, but I love the feminine side of myself, the softer side. And the car, excuse me, I'm trying to podcast. Anyway, I love the feminine side of myself. So I want to like tap into that even more. So I'm excited about that. And then the next section is, it's the last section. It's my passion goals and things that I'm passionate about. And the first thing that I wrote was to continue to serve in my community and like give back more. Emma and I created our like outreach group within our church for our city group, and it's been really cool. Oh my goodness, there's something still in my eyeball. What is going on? I am so sorry. I started doing this year, but I want to like amp it up. I want to like grow it. I want to do it more often. I don't know. I want to give back to the community and even like beyond the community, just worldwide, nationwide. I don't know. I want to make a bigger impact within that just because I am truly passionate about it. It's so fulfilling and there's so many ways I feel like I can help these people and I want to be able to do that. And like with my time and whatever it is, like whatever I can give them, I want to give them more of. And then I want to create a community event through something I can't really talk about to like serve and give. So that's kind of pieced into that. And then I want to attend, this is the last thing, it's kind of a silly random thing, but I want to attend more like seminars and more events. So I went to that Life Surge event this year. It was like a Christian business event. And then we went to a event, more like niche specific event a couple weekends later, and it was the one about stocks, and it was super cool and I learned so much. And I'm like, you know what, I want to get more involved in these things. I think there's so much to be learned. I think it's really cool. So I gained a lot from that. I'm like, I need to do that more. So that's a goal this year, is to do that more often. And that wraps up all of my goals for 2025. I'm excited because one, again, saying these out loud makes them so much more real. I just have a feeling this year is going to be good. It's going to be a very like grind year. I'm going to be building, I'm going to be working, I'm going to be growing, but I don't know. I just have a good feeling about it. And I hope you guys do too. I really, really recommend making a vision board, a prayer board. Go on Pinterest, create a whole like board just of inspo pics of things that you want your life to look like. Share it with a friend, talk about it, or just keep it to yourself. It doesn't matter. But I think it's really powerful to like just even get your thoughts turning of what do I want to change in my life? What do I want to grow? Where do I want to grow? What do I want to improve on? What do I want to learn? What do I want to start doing? Maybe what are you resistant about and you need to lean into, like me and dancing? There's so many ways to improve, and I just love self-improvement. I think that's why I love the new year, just because it's a great opportunity for that. And yeah, you guys, like literally the beginning of last year, New Year's Eve, I wrote a prayer in my journal, and it was certain things that I wanted in a guy, like my dream man. Freaking a couple weeks later, Kyler pops into my life, and he is an answered prayer to every single one of them. If you're lonely and you want to, if you feel like you're ready for a relationship, like pray about it, write it down. Who do you want? Like different attributes about this person, not physical. It doesn't have to be like these tall, dark, and handsome, but ways like you guys are together, or how he is with your family, or how he is with the family, or I don't know, who knows. But I really suggest doing it. I'm so glad you guys are still with me in 2024, and I can't wait to see where we go in 2025. I love you guys so much, and we will chat next year. Bye guys.